You are watching Co-op for Two. It's February 28th, 2021. I'm Jesse. I'm here with Greg.
Thanks for having me on your channel.
And what are we doing today?
This is a little pop-in, just a little check-in. We haven't actually...
A little update.
Yeah, haven't actually named this segment yet. The channel has been up for 2 months. We are kind of just doing a little, this little check-in with you guys.
Keep the vast audience of the channel up to date. We'll give you a little behind the scenes. And I hope we'll do this like regularly. Yeah, it would be nice.
So, I mean, it's keeping in with the rest of the channel, which is that we just take time forever to do everything.
Yeah, we're in no rush, right?
Yeah. I mean, we're the people that when we played Detective over Zoom during the height of the pandemic, we spent the allotted time for Detective, which you would have for the game, just discussing the case before we even start playing the case. Yeah. So that's the keeping with how we're doing things here. So
yeah, you might call this is like the background music channel. You just put us on in the background and let it go.
So, yeah.
I mean, people don't know because we've had content coming out, but I am thrilled to be sitting here in person with you. It's been a while.
Yeah, so we've actually not seen each other for 2 months. My wife and I, we have a business, but due to COVID, it has been off for a year now, or longer, I guess. And so I got a new job. We were essentially quarantined before, and we were able to play games together. We're like pretty OCD and crazy, but I had to take a new job, and I've gotten vaccinated, and Jesse's gotten vaccinated, so now we feel it's safe to we're still very careful with everything, but we are now playing.
We recorded a bunch of episodes. We got so excited about the project. We recorded a whole bunch of episodes that we were supposed to just hold as an emergency reserve.
Well, just strip them off and kind of keep a bank.
Right, but then our situation changed. We decided we should isolate.
So now we're, safe to be gaming again, which is great. And I mean, it's, my wife said, I think you get sadder when you don't get to see Jesse, which is absolutely true.
That's sweet. Yeah.
So it's nice to be, when we're very excited about, getting to play some games. So do you want to just do, let's talk about, we're going to talk about our little.
So we're going to recap a little bit about we talked about a little bit about the channel, what our goals were, and then what videos have already come out, and then future videos. There were no goals. Yeah, I guess that's we don't know. We basically decided to do the channel out of insanity of COVID without really having any goals or knowing
why you would do such a thing. Who knows? We both do that quite a bit, where we just kind of like we feel compelled to do projects.
Yeah, a little voice said,
and then you just do it, and you're like, why am I doing this thing that's costing me a lot of time and energy and money and aggravation? And then you just don't know why. You just do it.
Now I did make a list. Remember, very recently. I mean, this is well after the channel, but I did sit down and say why is this happening?
Which we have.
And it's a nice, healthy list. Most of it has to do with just trying something that's new, learning new skills, practicing something. And I mean, we love talking board games, so
that's probably pretty apparent.
And a chance to hang out together and work on a project together. We turned out it was not as easy, like cooperative board games. That's our thing, but it turns out cooperating on the channel was a little harder than we thought.
Our honeymoon phase of our friendship ended. We had a little bit of but we
both have very strong opinions sometimes about how things should be done.
Yeah. So now Jesse's the captain and I'm a worker bee. I feel.
No.
More to so. I find it's easier to either be in charge of something or to just, I mean, I'm not that I don't have any input, but I find it easier if, rather than, but
I mean, I hope that we can do more balancing of episodes in one person, but I mean, it's a teamwork project.
Jesse does all the editing, all the camera stuff, all that stuff. I think it's teamwork. You got a 1-ton weight on the.
But we know
seesaw.
What's the thing about what's the movie with the guy? His daughter gets kidnapped, and he says he has some special skills, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Greg has some special skills in terms of keeping these conversations going. And
I have thought
if people have watched the live streams, which are just me, they're not good. Should we recap what we've done so far? Is that the idea?
I was ready to be excited about what we're going to play, but I guess we should.
Yeah, let's do what we've already done.
Yeah, so on a whole, we've done a lot of playthroughs. We've done. How many did we say then? 12. We've played 12 games on the channel.
That's it.
As the two of us, we've done 2 top 10s, And then
Yes.
you've done a number of live
Top 10
streams.
competitive games, top 10 cooperative.
And then you've done some live streams.
I've done many. I've been doing a live stream every week, mainly playing the detective type game, Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective. Yesterday I did a 7.5 hour one, and I want to play them all so that we can do our massive roundup of these detective games, which I think when we started this channel, that's what I thought was going to be our main.
Well, I thought we would have done
purpose.
Pandemic by now. We would have done a complete. But that ran into a little hiccup with
Yes, it
season
did.
0, which is a whole other conversation. Yeah, I mean, what? So
Well,
how do you?
We
so,
did a bunch of. We did. Our idea was like rules. Our original idea, we had a little bit of debate about this. Was rules playthrough.
was to do every game and just
and
do
review.
a rules
video, playthrough
video, and then a review
Right.
video, discussion video.
And
Just
then-
we decided discussion rather than review.
Right, sort of discussion review because we wanted to
That's
have a
fits
broader
more.
broader topic and talk about related games and stuff. So we did that for several, but the rules videos are actually a lot of work, and we had this little bit of difference of opinion, but for a variety of reasons, I think we've loosened up. So we're not always going to do it one way. We've been doing every game that we've reviewed. We've also had a playthrough of. Sometimes a long 12-hour playthrough of Seventh Continent.
Yeah.
Maybe, unless there's some uproar of complaint, maybe we'll do a little. Sometimes not do a playthrough of a game and just do a review of a game.
So how do you feel like, as a sense, like I kind of felt. I guess you remember your negative feelings more, and I felt like I was being sort of a negative Nancy. I thought like, man, have I been really negative on a lot of these reviews and a lot of these playthroughs? And I noticed like when I'm not as keen on the game and filming really taps your bandwidth, and then playing the game and then playing the game for like, once we get like 5 hours into a game that's very, that I'm not enjoying as much, or it's 5 hours in and we're filming, I noticed it get a little cranky, and I've noticed that like I had the sense like gaming on the channel has been a lot of the games I felt negatively about. And so I made when we made our little list here just before we started, I looked and I was like, I wonder how many. So out of those 11 games, and we did a Chronicles of Crime case, that was a variant case. We didn't really do a review on that, so I'm going to take that out of the mix.
Okay, we did kind of.
So out of the 11, but we didn't talk about Chronicles of Crime as a system, which it's on our top 10. So I mean, we love it, obviously. So that's a spoiler. I shouldn't have said that. But out of those 11 games, I mean, how do you think you feel like?
I mean, I did not. You think you were too net? You think when you look back, there was lots of negative. I didn't feel that way at all. I felt like we had a good balance.
Well,
we did a bunch of games that we really love, and a bunch of games we don't like.
Yeah, when I looked at this list, I saw, wow, 6 of them I loved or felt pretty positive about. 3 of them I hated. And then 3 were either middling or less. Yeah. So, I mean, that was pretty. I was kind of surprised at
Now, one video we did really stood out in terms of views. One video got more views, about as many views as every other video combined. And that was your Lord of the Rings video.
Yeah, it's funny because I saw a need for it. Like people on Reddit, people on Board Game Geek, and various, Lord of the Ringsy type places where you go post stuff. People would always be like, I'm just kidding. It's overwhelming, or what should I do? And stuff. So I thought, try to answer that question. And you posted in the Board Game Geek page for Lord of the Rings, and people have been really responding to watching it. Although, very humorously, we have 2 comments, and I told Jesse, I was like,
there's a bunch of comments on that video, but 2.
The 2. Well, one is on the page, one is one is on the Board Game Geek page. So.
I wish I had printed these out so we could read them.
Well, I took a picture of them because I think I sent them to you recently. So I just thought it was so funny because, I told Jesse before, I'm like, I just want this to be as concise as possible. So I want it to be watchable for like normal people, not people that are going to watch us talk for 2 hours or 4 hours, whatever. And so,
for people who haven't seen it, it's like Lord of the Rings is this huge game that wrapped up. And Greg planned out and discussed how to get started. Like if you're new to the game, and discuss where to start, which ones to play.
And Jesse was sort of the straight man, where he was just sort of the soundboard, and also to try to like,
And I was acting as the audience. I was genuinely
you were like
curious to hear these things too. Right. So, but what were the comments?
So we had 2 people. One person, I'm going to paraphrase this, but they were basically like, they didn't say Jesse's name.
It was always referred to the guy on the left, the guy on the right.
Yeah. Both of them did this. So one of them said,
great video. They both start with great video, but
Jesse needs to stop butting in every
The guy
time.
on the left needs to
so
shut up.
So there's Jesse just basically, he doesn't
Stop
know what he's talking about.
interrupting.
He needs to stop interrupting. He's always trying to guess the answers. He should just be quiet and let the other guy who knows what he's talking about. Okay. And then the other one was like, basically,
Great video.
Great video. What, like, Greg should shut up basically because he obviously plays the game a lot, but who cares if, like, it's not who cares, but he basically obviously is like a mega fan. His opinion should be metered by Jesse's opinion, who is like, should be talking more and stuff. So they essentially said the exact opposite things. One thought I was,
which is fun, which is great.
Which is hilarious.
They were
I thought
both
it was
fun.
funny.
Both
Very
great
funny.
comments.
Yeah.
And it reminds me, I had an old friend that used to be in my board game group, David Rogers, and he pointed out the thing that I've told you before, which is that you should be looking for the game or whatever it is, game, movie, whatever, that doesn't have universal, everyone loves it. Look for those games where half the audience loves it and half the audience hates it, because those are going to be the games that when they work for you, they're really something special.
Yeah, because you're more likely to, like, seeing a mediocre movie is fine, but loving the movie or hating it, if you hate it, you can trash it and talk about it, how bad it was, whatever, but if you love it and you really love it, so...
And there's something special when you make a movie or a game to appeal to everyone.
Yeah,
you're losing something. You're almost always going to lose something. And better to find that game or movie that said, I have an opinion, I have a specific target. So yeah. So the Lord of the Rings video got more views than ever. So we've been joking about how like we should rename this channel to Lord of the Rings channel and just do.
But that's
Lord
not
of
the
Rings.
focus. I mean, we had talked, like, people had said, like, hey, you should make some more on this. And I had a little podcast for a little while there, nothing to,
Yes,
I
you
think,
did.
but the point is, like, I could talk about the game at length. I mean, I could do a whole channel on it if I wanted to or whatever, and I could, but I mean, like, that's not like the focus of the channel. So
Yeah, I mean, we might do another Lord of the Rings video. We might switch over the whole channel to Lord of the Rings. It could, no. We're going to do what's fun, what we enjoy.
Yeah.
If you decide you've got another
But I would
video.
like to do some, so the pandemic, sorry, I'm like kind of cut you off there a little bit. So the pandemic kind of like, everything's gotten very samey, and it's been a roller coaster for a lot of people for a lot of ways in the world and stuff. So I'm kind of excited about playing some newer games to me that I've never played before that I'm excited about, and just I just need some newness in my life. So I'm pretty excited about playing some new stuff.
But before you do that, I want to go back to what we started talking about was negative. You said we were too negative. I did want to point out that someone made a comment on one of the videos that we were pretty harsh on. It was either I think it was Dead Men Tell No Tales or Room 25, and they said I really appreciated that you guys didn't sugarcoat your opinions about this game, because so many games, and I think it's more true now than ever with all the Kickstarter stuff, that the board games reviews tend to be very positive, which makes some sense even without the Kickstarter. Like, why do you play a game and go to the trouble reviewing it if you don't like it? And sometimes those negative reviews can be the most helpful ones, because you're saving someone from buying a game they're not going to like. Yeah.
You need, like, if you're a reviewer, which I don't really consider us to be reviewers, honestly, because, I mean, if you're going to watch our 2-hour review and say, like, well, a discussion and decide whether or not to buy the game, I don't think people are doing that. But, like, I mean, to me, like, if you're a reviewer, it's like being a critic. I mean, people should hate you in the board gaming industry. I don't,
That's
don't.
not really what we're going for.
No,
though,
but I mean, like, I say
yes,
that somewhat jokingly, but, like, I mean, like, you got to be effective, you have to be real, and you have to tell, like, exactly how it is. Otherwise, your function is completely useless.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
So it is, like, I mean, it's hard to see how, like, the bigger reviewers, going to Gen Con, going to these industry meetings and things, and really being a huge part of the industry, honestly, right? It's hard to be, like, going to the bar and hanging out with people and stuff, and, and seeing them.
It's hard to trash a game if you know the author. If you, even forget about any financial stuff.
Right. So I mean, just in general, like, I think it probably gets harder and harder to do that. And, like, but it's, to me, it's of no value. I need to hear, like, a really,
and we're not
do not sugarcoat things, like.
In the same way, we're not going to buy a game that we know we're not going to like and play it and trash it. If you hear us give if you hear us give a negative review of a game, it's because we thought we might like it. Yeah. And obviously, people are different, right? Just because we don't like a game or one of us doesn't like a game doesn't mean you won't like it.
Yeah, I mean, I've mentioned that too before, because, like, I really do feel like it's like when people are like, you like that? What? Or like, it's like, no, I mean, I'm glad that you found joy out of that thing. Like I didn't, I wish I had, but I didn't. So, like everybody's got their own taste and stuff. And that's part of what like makes life interesting.
Yeah. And we're not, you could imagine if you were a professional reviewer that maybe you would feel like when you give your opinion of a game, you're trying to give an opinion, not what you personally think, but what you think people. But that's not how we're going to do it. We're going to give our personal opinions of why we think games were fun or not. And
maybe I'll be, sorry. This is completely left field, but I was like, man, maybe I'll be joining you for a live stream or something. Although, shorter for me.
I really hope you will, because the live streams are fun. If you're watching this and you haven't watched the live stream, like, I can't in good conscience recommend you that someone sit through it, but it's fun to do it from behind the scenes, and there are always a couple people that join the channel and talk. You want to talk about upcoming stuff, or should we do the stats first?
I just
first?
Pointed, so we've got some of the games behind
discussion.
us that we're going to be playing. Yeah. I'm quite excited. Like I said, I really need some newness in my life. I need to shake things up quite a bit, honestly. Like, starting to get a little afraid here in COVID life. So we've got some behind here. We're going to be checking out Forgotten Waters, which I'm interested in trying out. You bought that from our local shop, Titan, here in Champaign. It sounds pretty interesting, kind of maybe a little Seventh Continent-y vibe.
We've got two games that are both water, travel, and ship, which we both love the idea of. So Forgotten Waters and Sleeping Gods.
Sleeping Gods, which you kickstarted, which that's a whole other conversation. And we'll be doing you want to have a discussion about Aeons and Legacy, the new.
That's going to be like a little Kickstarter discussion of whether you might want to kickstart it or not.
I'm very interested in paleo, I guess, since it's Paleolithic area. Which I love different themes in games, so I'm very excited about checking that one out because it is a different theme and it's an interesting subject. So that sounds really neat, and it looks like it has a really nice table presence. It looks
a little odd to me, like there's like a stand, so we'll see.
But the
how
table
that
presence
films.
looks good. But that's another Endangered, which doesn't look quite as nice a table presence. I've heard some good stuff about it.
We got recommended. The person who did the fan scenario write-ups for Chronicles of Crime recommended it.
Yeah.
So
and I've seen it kind of getting some pretty good buzz around. I've not been keeping track of that stuff as well as I used to. And then I actually bought CO2 to try the cooperative and competitive. We may play that,
try that.
On here as well. And I thought that might be kind of a cool, like, because, CO2 and Endangered are both sort of, like, here's our Earth Day thing. We're going to do these two. I don't know. And of course, Chronicles of Crime. The new Chronicles of Crime. But I like one of the episodes that I enjoy the most are the ones where we talk about a bunch of games and compare them and line them up. So I call a retrospective, but you're not
round up retrospective. So one of the ones that I've been most looking forward to for a long time are these narrative detective games. So I'm hoping that the two of us will play Gumshoe, which is going to be a real ordeal, but it's going to be an experience. And then we have a couple more in that series that I think we just have to check off the list.
Deadline,
maybe that Alderstein, maybe Deadline. I'm not sure Deadline qualifies, but we're almost ready to do it. And then we'll have to sit down and have a multi-hour.
And we're about to start Mysterium Park that we're going to film in just a moment.
We've got that on the table.
We've actually, right here.
I have a couple others that I want us to do. I want us to do a review of Arkham LCG. I don't think a playthrough, like we're in the middle of a campaign. We've played several cycles.
A year ago. It's been like a year since
and we have a real love-hate relationship with it. So I'm not sure. I think that might be a good candidate for not filming the playthrough, but like finishing that cycle on our own and then talking about it. We have a lot to talk about.
All three sister games or whatever.
That's
discussing
right.
Marvel.
And it was one of the first games that you and I played. It was the first game that you and I played, other than local Champagne non-game that we're not going to talk about. But So I and then I do want Greg to do a live stream with me.
Yeah, we're
one of these nights.
So of course, like if there's something that you think we would enjoy or that you'd like to see played because you don't have
absolutely
enough, of course that's please comment below or whatever.
Yeah,
we'll be doing
let
these
us
kind
know.
of updates real regularly.
Yeah, let us know if from those lists we've already done, if there are ones you'd like to see more than others, if there are games that we haven't thought of. We don't have access to any Like, it has to be retail for us. But let us know what you'd like to see us play.
Yeah, and we're also. You get some Sarah bombs, Jesse's cat Sarah, on here every now and again, a little tabby cat you might have seen, and maybe I might bring over Ipswich. He might get on camera here.
Oh, that would be nice to put the two of them together.
Hanging out. You can watch two cats screaming at each other. The channel devolves into just cats screaming at each other. So we'll see
all right, so that's our future stuff. The other thing I want to do, I want us to do, which we always planned to, but it never happened, is more pure discussion videos. Yeah. Like, I want us to do some more top 10s, but I also want us to do, we had a couple planned, like playing multi-handed when you play games. Like, there's a whole bunch of discussion videos that I'd like us to do more
For some reason, they're the easiest ones to do, and yet we don't do them. I don't know why. And the most enjoyable.
Take some energy out of you. Yeah. But I did, you feel the same way, right? Don't you want to do more of those episodes?
I would,
yeah.
You want to read the stats off, and we'll end this before it goes on longer than our playthroughs?
So I was telling Greg, like, I have just read this article about radical honesty. I forget what magazine it was in. It's an old article about some psychologist who was advocating radical honesty. You basically tell people exactly the truth. Like, they say, "How do I look in this outfit?" You tell them radical honesty. And there was some show about it, and I like
radical honesty. Most people do not like radical honesty.
It's not as easy as you think, but there was some show many years ago where, like, they sat the guy down with the girlfriend, and he was just, like, screaming at her that her nose was so huge, and she was screaming at him about stuff. Like, it was horrible. And I was left thinking, like, no, radical honesty is no good. But it's easy to do when you don't have...
There's a friend of mine who said, they didn't... I'm just going to paraphrase it. But they basically, we were all sitting together, and they said, "I can handle radical honesty." And they left for a moment, and then the three of us looked at each other, and we were like, No, you cannot.
Yeah, not many people
Very
can.
funny.
This guy in this article was, like, telling all the women in his workplace how he was attracted to them, whatever. It was a mess.
All right.
But it's easy to do when you have only a couple viewers. But this is what we're going to do in these updates. We're going to commit to it now.
Yeah.
Forever.
I think
forward.
next time is shorter.
Yeah, but we're going to give you the stats of the channel. If there's any money that came in, whatever, you'll hear about it. So let's start with our stats of our YouTube channel. So we've been operating about 2 months, right? January 1st we went live. It's the end of February, so 2 months. So we have 158 subscribers. That seems to fluctuate a couple more or less each day. We have about 90 hours of content on the channel. Bunch of that is playthroughs and live streams. As we said before, Greg's Lord of the Rings video has like 50% of all the views. It's like 2,800 views, and all of the others combined are about the same amount. About 6,000 views total. Watch time is 1,000 hours, however that amount comes down to. But, just like slow couple people, but it's not dropping. It's not going down. We don't know. We had no expectations. We have no idea. Good, bad, whatever. It is what it is. It is what it is. On our Patreon, there are currently 7 active patrons. They're all family and friends. There's one person there that we don't know. But it's essentially no one. It's essentially friends that got bullied into it. But I have no problem with that. I would do it. I would do it for them. It's just a friendly thing. So $45 a month is coming in from Patreon.
In about 50 years, that'll pay for your camera equipment.
But I eventually I think we'll get some people on Patreon. The whole philosophy good. I'm glad you reminded me Patreon. The whole philosophy of this, and I thought we might get more Patreon supporters by now, but the idea was that we're doing a very niche thing. We're doing these long rambling discussions, long rambling playthroughs, and I thought, and they're all co-op, and I thought 99.9% of viewers will have no interest in it. Maybe we'll get some that are like, this is what I like. I like relaxed. People that don't have friends to play with these games could join us at the table and feel like they're satisfying their desire to learn about these games and feel like they're having the experience of playing them. So I still think we will eventually get some people who feel like that's worth supporting. Doesn't matter. If not, it's not going to stop us. We'll just keep doing it. Anything
I
else?
just found out I can rent a movie theater bring my own DVD, rent a movie theater with 20 friends, socially distanced for $100. That's pretty exciting.
It's that part about bringing the DVD that's confusing to me. Although Rebecca wants to rent this theater, another friend of ours, so she emailed you, right? We're hoping we do that. But you really think you can just bring a DVD in?
That's what they said.
That's pretty cool.
So now I'm trying to figure out like what I want to see.
Yeah,
it's pretty exciting. And I'm also excited about like movies coming back again. I want to watch big action movies in the theater. That's what I want.
Speaking of which, are they going to start seeing movie reviews on a sister channel? Greg was saying that he's getting a little itch to maybe do movie review.
I like talking about movies and I like talking about board games. So
you might see this in a couple months, just doing movie reviews. Or Greg.
And if we do that on the movie channel, we're just going to talk about board games and on the board games.
All right, that was fun. Yeah. I am so thrilled to start playing games with you again. It's been a while.
We're recording. Just now.
Let us know what you'd like to see more of, less of. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe.
Let us know if you're happy about seeing the games that we described, because those are going to be the ones that we're going to play.
But we don't know what order we're going to play them in.
All right, well,
hopefully we'll do more of these, like one every month. Yeah. All right, guys. We will see you next time.
Thanks. Ready?
Mm-hmm. Clapper.
Damn it.
So I'm just going to say, I'll give the date. I'll say, welcome to Co-op for Two, and I'll give the date. I'm not going to say our names, and then you'll just
say our
names
names
and take it.
And then I'll take it. Or you say your name and I'll say my name.
No, I don't like that.
Why not?
It's weird. It's like the trying to hand off. The timing isn't right, so it just slows it down.
So just say both our names.
Yeah. Okay. Full names or just first
our names. Just our first names.
There aren't that many people watching, and that's okay. We're going to do this as if we were on a rocket ship. Mankind has gone, and we're just sending out the broadcast into space for the aliens to watch.
Yeah, I like that. That's kind of a cool little...